Good day. I'm Judy Warner, the Editor-in-Chief of NACD Directorship, and this is BoardVision. Our topic today is cyber risk. I'm here today with Ann Cloyd, the leader for PwC's Center for Board Governance. Thank you, Ann, for being here.
Oh, always great to be here, Judy. Thank you.
And also joining us today is Suzanne Vautrinot. And Suzanne, you have an amazingly deep background in the area of cyber risk, and I am so excited that you're here with us today.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege.
For directors, I think one of the greatest challenges around the issue of cyber is how to engage in an informed conversation with management, and how do they become informed about their oversight role as it relates to cyber. And Zan, if you want to lead off.
So in making the transition, that was one of the things that was absolutely clear about the private sector and corporate leadership, is that they understood how to have a discussion about risks and strategy. And so the only thing different with cyber is that some of the technology and some of the solution sets are slightly different, but the conversation is the same. It is a discussion about a particular kind of risk and how it relates to the kind of business you are. And these are different businesses.
Ann, from your perspective, how does that conversation take place or start to take place at the board level? And is it a conversation for the full board, a specific committee?
Yeah, I guess I always say it depends. I never want to be so prescriptive as to tell somebody what they need to do, because every board, every committee is different. However, I do think that given the magnitude of how this affects so many businesses, it's not a technology issue, it's a business issue. Mm-hmm. So with that, where would you oversee any other business issue at your board? And I'm guessing that a lot of it would belong at the full board, within perhaps parts of it, delegated down to a committee.
The NACD recently published a handbook on cyber risk oversight. And one of the questions it recommends that boards ask management, or one of the discussions, is around risk appetite. And where does cyber fit into that equation today? And I know, Ann, you have said, we need to think of risk as cyber as any other risk.
Well, and I think you bring up two interesting things. And in fact, we did a small publication out of my group earlier this year and we called it Defining Risk Appetite in Plain English. Because I've found that a lot of times, even that discussion around, well, actually what prompted it was I had a director come to me and he said, Miriam, we're doing our off-site strategy session and we always talk about risk appetite. Do you have a good pre-read that I could give to the board so that they can understand what risk appetite means? And again, and so we did this to really put in plain English, in like 4 pages or less, what it means, what the dialogue is between management and the board, how you develop and define your risk appetite. And to me now, it's like, in the way you've so beautifully teed this up, Zan, and cyber is just another part of that risk discussion, mm-hmm. and how it fits into your overall strategy.
Right. And if you've already had a discussion about your strategy and those things that are most important to you as a corporate entity, is it the data that is unique, that you've collected, the information and the access to that information? Is that what makes your corporation unique? Is it the technology or your research and development? Is it your insight into financial transaction or merger and acquisition? Is it a physicality of manufacturing processes or distribution processes? Every board and every management team knows what is most important to mm-hmm. them being successful as a corporation. It is likely that those things are the areas that they would want to focus in with assessing cyber risk, because if you look at that area and say, this is what is most important to us as a corporation, and this is the technology that we depend on in order to do that activity, kind of a mapping, now I can say, that is sufficient, or it is insufficient relative to the amount of risk I'm willing to accept in that area. There may be other areas of the business where they aren't core to the business, and so you're willing to accept a different amount of risk, or put different systems in place that kind of sandbox, that put a fence around, or that separate or provide different controls to allow that activity to run more openly, whereas this element is much more controlled and much more precious.
I want to thank you both for being here today, Suzanne and Marianne. On behalf of the NACD and PwC, I want to thank you for watching this episode of BoardVision. I'm Judy Warner.